Well, the Metro Cup season is in full swing as we hit round 6 of the competition. And we've got the Storm on the field this evening in our opening men's premier match. And we've also got potential for storms in the skies as we keep an eye on the radar tonight. Scott McAllister and Zach Jenrick in commentary for tonight's fixtures. Very good evening to you, Zach.
Thanks, Scotty. Looking forward to this one, mate. I had the pleasure of reffing these two teams when they played off against each other earlier in the season. It was a really, really tight game. It was also a little bit dewy that round as well. Ended in a 3-3 draw. It was probably one of the more unusual men's Prem games. A lot of them this season we've had, 9-10 results, 9-6, high-scoring affairs, but it was a real grind and a really interesting 3-3 game. So it'll be interesting to see if it stays dry tonight. I think we'll probably have a few more tries, but if it gets wet again, we might see a similar matchup tonight.
Yeah, let's take a look at the ladder as well. The Southern Storm coming into this fixture sitting in second position, getting a victory last week, and for the Rebels, only for and against separating the two teams as they've had the one win, a draw and 2 losses to their name. So second versus third is going to be a tight battle between the two tonight. For the Southern Storm, like we said, they're coming off a handy victory last week, 9 tries to 6 over a Gold Coast team who are a little bit light on troops. And we have a look at the Southern Storm lineup for tonight, led by their coach Chris Loth.
Yeah, really strong-looking team. That game you mentioned about last week, Scott James Price was absolutely phenomenal in that game. Probably had one of his best games of the season, and also Nick Home, 2 of the players who have really stepped up in the absence of the Russell brothers this season. So I'll be keeping a close eye on them again tonight. I'll
take a look at the UQ Rebels team list for tonight. Fairly formidable team as well. James Hegedus with the C against his name. And, a pretty strong coaching lineup as well.
Yeah, great to see the UQ Rebels getting a few players back as we go through the season. They had a huge amount of injuries in their pre-season and coming off the international events earlier in the year. So good to see a few of the boys making their way back into the team. Lockie Pearce, a big one who's come back the last couple of weeks. He's been really, really strong. I think especially as they start to welcome back more of their stars, they're really going to become a force to be reckoned with in this men's premier competition.
Yeah, 2 captains for each team tonight are also the key player matchup. James Hegedus, who we just made mention of, and the captain of the Southern Storm, Adam Pride. Tell us what we can expect from these 2 leaders tonight.
Yeah, well, I think probably the key word you just said there is leaders. Plenty of younger players who have stepped up into these teams this season. So really good young players, but you definitely really rely on your leaders in those situations to help direct the team around the park, manage the big moments in the game and manage the moments when the pressure's on as well. So I think leadership will be a big point for those 2, and both of them obviously very handy, both sides of the ball as well. So especially in attack, I think you'll see them plenty involved tonight.
Country Club Colts and UQ Rebels to follow tonight's men's game in the Women's Premier Division. Like we touched on in the intro there, one eye on the skies tonight. Might go in the Storm's favour. They've got a little bit of backyard weather for them to support. But, a few rumbles, a little bit of lightning around. That'll keep the players on their toes coming into this one.
Yeah, it certainly will. And as I mentioned, the last time they played, it was a pretty wet and slippery affair. So I expect both teams will adjust quickly if it does come to it and we do get the rain. But we'll see how we go.
UQ Rebels have the opening possession here in round 6 clash. Metro Cup, as Searle goes to pump, sends it out to the right-hand side. Nice scramble defence as William goes across to make the touch.
Yeah, good start there. You saw Lockie Pearce coming around. He's the danger man. Searle picked up and went the other way. Lockie Pearce again involved now.
Yeah, nice little short ball off the hip, but a good defensive start there from the Southern Storm. Beaton comes up to make the touch. Their first possession with the footy in hand now as they come out of their end of the field.
Yeah, it's going to be critical for the Storm tonight that they're able to shut down Lockie Pearce and those attacking weapons on the UQ side. So really positive start for them as they roll out of the box now.
As Deacon picks it up in the right hand, takes him on, gets himself into the in-goal area, looking for support, still getting away from defenders, loops it over the top. And Dave Richards, Johnny on the spot. Well, the perfect start here for the Southern Storm. What a try that was to get themselves on the board.
Yeah, this is just pure speed.
Picks it up in the right hand, takes him on, gets himself into the in-goal area, looking for support, still getting away from defenders, loops it over the top.
Great job to not run out the back onto the dead ball line. And, yeah, great job from all of the Storm boys there. Plenty of players supporting and just too many for the Rebels to cover.
It was a great ball back over to Richards as well. He ended up catching it back in the field of play. And now the ball for the Rebels. I thought they almost got it away. John Hamstra calls the touch and pass.
Yeah.
3 referees, Campbell Muir and Brett Freshwater with John tonight.
Never a bad option to go that quick second phase play, but probably just a touch too close to the line there. Rebels didn't leave themselves a lot of room to operate in, and another really good defensive set from Southern Storm. Chris Loth has got them doing in the warm-up and into tonight, it's clearly worked because they are on tonight.
As Holm sends it across the face, and like you mentioned, had an absolute crackerjack game last week for the Storm.
Yeah, had the opportunity to interview Adam Pride before the match tonight. And yeah, he couldn't speak highly enough of Nick Holm and the way he's been able to step up this season. And yeah, he had a great game last week, but I think all season he's just really stepped up and been a key attacking player for the Storm. So I expect him to have plenty of ball in hand tonight.
Mills just almost getting caught up there as he links back up in the middle of the field. Bell plays it. Mills now takes off, gets away, just clipped on the boot. And young Ben Ross making a big touch there. We know how quick Jackson Mills is, particularly in that position.
Yeah, it's the acceleration of Jackson Mills that catches people off guard. His first 3 steps and he is up to full flight. Just a great athlete. So we see Storm now coming away from their box.
DeVere having to reach for it, receives the ball back from Deacon. Now Beaton comes off the right foot, sends a nice ball just going through the fingertips there of Price, who was flying through the air.
Yeah, missed opportunity there for James Price. I think he was through if he held on to that. Yeah, again, Southern Storm looking really dangerous to start this game. See the Rebels now. Looked like just been a touch called there, Jimmy DeVere. Potentially just a bit of a late call on the yes for the touch. So we see the boys now walk it back to the spot. And it is going to kill the momentum of the Rebels set a little bit. See what they can come up with as they roll into last.
Searle picks up and comes out wide. Oh, it's a bit advantageous there. Foxcroft just throwing it up in the air.
Yep, and correctly called forward pass by referee Brett Freshwater.
So changes onto the park here now for the Southern Storm. Richards scored the opening try for the men in purple. Pride plays it. Ross has a little look up down the left-hand side of the field. Puts the brakes on as they come back in the middle. 5th and final touch. Home rips out right. Nothing doing there. Ball dips away.
Yeah, good spot in the field to kill the ball, though. Rebels are going to have to go all the way laterally across the field to get to their box. I think, see Southern Storm here, they'll probably line up on the far side and try and make it as hard as they can for Rebels to get to that box and try and pinch a few touches here before they can get out of their half.
Searle did a good job. There was good pressure coming up in the middle of the field from Pride. So a little step off the right foot, picked up an extra couple of metres. As Bell has to reach for the ball. Eddie feeds it to Hegedus. Nice clean play the ball. Bell in the half, just came out of the hands. A little bit wobbly.
Yeah, again, decent defensive set there, I think, from the Storm. I think the biggest difference between the two teams, Scotty, I think Southern Storm are just getting a really nice flow through their box. Rebels, not quite as much. They're just being put off a little bit by the defence of the Storm. They're having to try and step people to win a few extra yards. And right as I say that, I put the mocker on the Storm boys. They put it down going to the box. So big attacking opportunity here for the Rebels.
Yeah, and that's really the first set in the whole game so far from the Storm that they didn't look very clean, and now off the back of it, it's come off the feet of Ryan Ward. Freshwater just having a look at the sideline referee. He was just unsighted at the time, and that's the advantage that we have with 3 referees. They usually get the right call, good communication from the sideline. Penalty to the Rebels as they look to attack early. Streeter out the right-hand side. There's a few rumbles of thunder rolling in the background.
You see Rebels here, patient with the setup. Bell again looks to go long.
Oh, Price has picked this one off. There's nobody at home here for the Rebels. Price is putting in the hard ones. He's going to go the full distance. Well, just when it looked like the Rebels were setting up for something, James Price, like a thief in the night, and picks it off and goes the distance.
Yeah, great anticipation here from James Price. We'll see it in the setup of the Rebels. They went to this play earlier with Bell looking for the long ball. Price has read it perfectly, just puts himself in the lane, takes it on the chest, and then with a couple of steps head start, no one was ever going to chase him down there. He dropped one earlier where it looked like he was in for a try, as well and truly made up for it there. And Southern Storm, what a start to this game, 2-0 lead early on.
And the Rebels from the restart come up with an error. Storm straight back out onto the football. No half in place here as Ross Gets over and feeds up with DeVere. Haven't punched too far forward on the first 3 touches. Again, now on the 4th, a bit flat-footed. Home now gets it down. DeVere loops over the top, and Foxcroft just caught a little bit infield. Has a look up and watches the ball sail over the top of his head, and the Storm, they continue on here, 3-0 up early doors.
Yeah, and great finish here in the corner from Heath Crawford. See the setup, Storm are plenty patient, just waited to get what they want. See just a 4-on-3 here, good long ball out to the wing, and Heath Crawford does really well to catch that, get it to ground quickly. Winger for the Rebels just too tight to make it across, and they are on fire to start this game now. Southern Storm really imposing themselves, crucial that Rebels can hit back. Strong defence again from the Storm.
Yeah, they're looking dangerous in the middle. Searle and linking up with Pearce is now, they send it out. Sharp pops it back on the inside. It's come off the Storm players, plenty of protests here. They will signal the 6 to go. Looked like it was going to go against the Rebels.
I think that was really good honesty there. I'm not sure the referee saw that little touch on the ball, but you saw Bailey, the Storm winger, put his hand up and say, nah, got a piece of it. As here he is involved again, dives across for the touch. I think James Sharp has got it down, and he has. Referees will point to the spot. That's a crucial hit back, Scotty. Yeah,
they needed that, didn't they, the Rebels? And it was a good finish. Had some work to do out here in the left-hand corner. As we take a look at the replay. Notley ripping nice and early. You can see Sharp had to reach for it. Like we said, bit of work to do. Puts the ball in the right hand. It's away from the cover defence coming across.
Yeah, almost a James Courtney style finish there, Sharpie. Puts the body out over the sideline. Reaches in and puts it down. Great mates, those two.
Yeah, Price, a little dummy, trying to slip in between the middle defenders, Hegedus and Eddie. Ross looks to sweep around the back. Price, no options. It's caught in possession, so a good defensive set from the Rebels after scoring down the other end.
Yeah, and you just feel like that was a crucial try for them to get as well, the Rebels, and we see them go direct now, trying something different. See Southern Storm are loading up to defend the box. Rebels have gone through the middle and then away. They made great meters here. They're going to get an awesome strike dump coming into 5th.
Here is Bell picking up nice and clean. Goes the short ball to Hegedus this time, and Price is there to make the touch.
Yeah, James Price just held his nerve there really well. The temptation would have been to chase out. But just held a great space there and was able to make that touch. Southern Storm straight into their work now.
Yeah, rolling nicely into the Rebels' end as Ward plays it home. Has a little bit of a juggle, picks it up cleanly, rips long. About to cover defence this time.
Yeah, great read. I think it's Nick Foxcroft out there on the far wing for the Rebels. Really good anticipation there. You see the Rebels now getting to their box. Just a touch clunky coming on again.
It's been good defensive pressure from the Storm in this set just to get up. They're rolling in nicely. Mills, flat ball back on the inside to Pearce. There's Kelso looking for offside players, can't get it. Ward holding his nerve in defence. And take the first hit up here as well as Pearce tries to gain possession back for his team. DeVere looks for support, finds Ryan Wood.
Jackson Roberts with the ball, subs on out the back. Fallon Pride to get down here. James Price round on the sweeper.
Ross takes off from half. Kelso comes across and makes the touch.
Yeah, just getting into the grind a little bit here now. Both teams going end to end with their rucking sets. Still game balanced on a knife edge with Storm out by 2. Rebels will be desperate to be the next ones to score as they come towards the line.
Contact just slowed the flow up a little bit here for the Rebels. They'll look to reset coming into the last touch. Searle plays it. Oh, took a little deflection, did it? Yeah, Price signals to the referees.
Yeah, again, love to see the honesty in the game there. And last time they got a repeat set, the Rebels, they were able to make it work and get over the line. See if they can do so again. Notley round on the sweep. Comes off the left. Oh, he's so quick, Jake Notley. He's one of those players that can just create a try out of absolutely nothing sometimes.
Yeah, almost slipping through there. Links up with Jesse Priddle. A little bit congested in the middle of the field here, the Rebels, and that forces Searle to go back the other way and just throw a ball straight over the top. So they couldn't capitalise on good field position, UQ.
See here, the referees are actually going to bring it back. Saw the signal there from Brett Freshwater. I think not moving forward was the call, so Fair enough. It's one of those ones where it would have happened on the touch before. The players have not moved forward, probably come back to the line early, and then because they've come back early, it's allowed them to get up and take the space away from the Rebels. So impacts the play, and Rebels another set of 6 now. See Searle and Notley setting up in the middles.
Priddle plays it. Go away from the sweeper this time. Priddle rockets a low ball. Beautiful footwork from Walker.
Yeah, great hands too to hold on to that. That was not an easy pass to handle.
Back midfield as Priddle dances around. Links up with Walker. Good defence. Bailey comes up and makes the touch. Nothing doing so far in the early stages for the Rebels as Searle just tucks it under, runs into the line, players in motion, hitting holes. And that forces the Storm defence to collapse, and acres of space out here on their left-hand side. Second try on the board to the Rebels.
Yeah, another crucial one that had plenty of touches down here. They really needed to come up with something. It was Jake Notley in the end, just picks up out of half, skips on the outside of his player, creates the overlap, and then long ball out to the wing and a good catch and put down from Streeter in the corner. And crucially now, Rebels right back in this match.
Yeah, swinging momentum a little bit back in their favour. Still down by 1 try. As Beaton tries to thread it through. Sharp coming up and getting hands on the ball. Repeat set here to the Storm. Back-to-back tries for the Rebels.
So Nick Home in the middle here. He'll be involved. Picks up from half. Goes to Nathan Beaton, who does a good job to hang on to it in the end.
Here's Beaton. Ball in hand again to Deacon. It's Home. Oh, lollipop balls over the top. And it's come off the hands forward there of Deacon.
Yeah, I think the initial sinker pass was okay. Certainly the bat on well and truly forward. Was on there for the Storm though. Wouldn't be surprised if they may come back to that little sinker option later in the game. So we see Rebels here coming away from their box.
Jackson Mills drives in hard. Jordan Bell just having to scramble to get into acting half. And they're going to come back. They've made an interchange infringement here, the Rebels. 7 players on the field.
Yeah, the Rebels sweepers coming on out the back, just a little bit too keen. Last player who rolled the ball just a bit slow to get off. And that does give you an easy overlap when that happens. So a good pick up from referee Campbell Muir on the sideline there. And the result is now going to be great field position for Southern Storm. Of course, the mark for 7 on always comes up to halfway. So we'll see an attacking set of 6 here for Southern Storm as they roll towards their line.
And there was no way that they were going to get away with that, the Rebels, because they still had their 7 players on at the back end of the set. And sometimes you just see it's just a little bit of a timing thing around the interchange box, but they well and truly got it wrong on that occasion. So we see the ball dipping away here on the Storm. Robbie Williams out there on the left-hand side of the field.
As you see a hard touch call there against the Southern Storm. Just a little bit too much force in that touch. Now Rebels, plenty of touches in hand as they work their way towards the Southern Storm try line.
Priddle just punches forward through the middle. Notley does the same. Searle picks it up with the right hand. Shows a little dummy. Ryan Ward, cool as you like, comes up to make the touch.
Yeah, Scotty, this game's just being played at a frantic pace. You notice every changeover, the team who wins the ball is you're just going to see a penalty here. Hard touch will be the call. Referees are especially onto this, the hard touch into the sub box as well. So you get those hard touch and the players flying into players who are trying to run onto the field and into the sub box. Pretty dangerous situation. So relatively straightforward call from the referees. But yeah, the game's being played at frantic pace. Every changeover, the new attack's right on the ball. They're rolling it straight away. Both teams clearly with a plan to run and run hard tonight.
Here's Price. He showed it back on the inside. Decides to come off the right foot. And is his team a penalty? Rebels this time caught a little short.
Another set of 6 here for the Storm. Key players in the middle. Price and Pride. Price off the right. Could hear an offside play on call. I think Andrew Searle, it might have been who was offside, but certainly the other Rebels middle, Jesse Priddle, was onside, which is what we're going to play as we see James Price, got to be the one to roll it since he was touched, comes back to collect it.
Here's Pride. Short ball here to De Vega, plays in motion, early release, and he gets on the outside yet again, looking to Muir, who gives the all clear. So they've gone back to the well. They've had some advantage going out that left-hand side, and it was De Vere who sent the rocket the last time around to score out that corner. He does the job again. Beautiful ball.
Yeah, just another 4-on-3. See, good long ball. And Robbie Williams does a great job in the corner to catch and get that one to ground. Plenty of work to do there. And important hit back there from Southern Storm. Rebels scored a couple in a row, starting to get a little bit of momentum. And Southern Storm now back out to that 2-try buffer. See Rebels trying to hit back straight away now. Tom Eddy touch. They'll have to take it back to the 7.
Eddie and Pearce working in the middle here for the Rebels. Walker. Eddie gets strong contact off the ball, and Pearce punching through the hole. Roberts makes the touch.
And again, we see really quick changeover from Southern Storm, just straight on the ball, trying to get any advantage possible while the Rebels are still trying to get back. We see it's allowing them to get really good starts to their set as they have a really good flow on here out of the box.
Richards just couldn't get that one cleanly. Looking dangerous. Oh, now Tom Eddy return serve.
Yeah, it's a little lack of concentration there. Tom Eddy saw the head come up, just having a look at what the defence were doing. Puts it down. Big chance here for Storm to go up another try.
Oh, Deacon just puts the foot down and finished, just over the sideline. Gee whiz, exciting play. Deacon, as we have a look at the replay, watch him just take off when he gets ball in hand.
Yeah, he did this earlier, not a lot on, and just used his speed to just beat people, and does it again. You see Bailey just as he takes that last steps on the sideline. Meanwhile, UQ Rebels have come up with an error trying to get towards their box. So they'll have another chance here, Southern Storm. A minute and a bit left to play. Crucial time in the game now.
Ooh, Home goes out the back. Beaton was punching through, and he's had to turn his shoulders to try and clean that ball up. Ball hits the deck. Opportunity missed there for the Southern Storm.
As you see Rebels now.
Oh, Notley picks up and goes from half. Needs support. No one with him. Sends it back. Plenty of purple jerseys there to answer the call.
Yeah, that is Jake Notley doing what only Jake Notley can do. Unfortunately, just didn't have the support there. Ended up throwing the intercept. See a bit of a couple of collisions going on as players were scrapping to try and keep up with Notley. Referees happy it was all just incidental. Lots of bodies in motion. And Southern Storm in the end rolled 0 touch, and now, again, really effective coming to their box. Big meters here as they try and get subs on out the back.
Ooh, looping ball, risky ball. Price does a good job. They just got to steady the ship here, the Southern Storm. Ben Ross does that for them now as Price takes him on. Nice defence there. In the middle, Searle and Priddle. Calmly come up and make the touch on Price as Notley gets good meters.
Yeah, around 30 seconds to go here. This will be their last attacking chance, the UQ Rebels. Crucial point in the game now, 4-2. They'd love to go into half-time, only 1 try behind.
As Mills gets clean play the ball. Callum Bell at the back. Hit Lockie Pearce, who's looking to bat it on to Streeter out here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Southern Storm have done a great job. Their ruck defence has been a real highlight of their game in the first half. The Rebels have thrown plenty at them, but they've just been able to absorb the pressure, and it's allowed them to only concede 2 tries, which is a really top effort in the men's Premier Division. You don't see that very often, so that'll be a huge positive that they'll take out of that first half.
Yeah, well, after an electric start from the Storm when they put 3 tries on the board straight away, the Rebels did a good job to get themselves back in. They do go into the halftime break down by 2 tries. The halftime score here in the men's Premier Round 6 match, Southern Storm 4 over the UQ Rebels 2.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
When I wanna cry in a world gone mad.
Welcome back to the Metro Cup, and we've got a good game on our hands here in the Men's Premier Division. 4-2 the halftime score. Southern Storm in front. You can see the UQ Rebels on the far side of the field. A little bit of work to do here, Zach, in the second half, but like we touched on going into the halftime break, they work their way in, back-to-back tries. We know 2 tries is not going to be enough, particularly at this level, so they've got their opportunities, but it was a great first 20 minutes there for the Southern Storm.
Yeah, well, the Rebels, they're definitely a side that can score tries. Like they've got some of the best attacking weapons in the game. Jimmy Hedgedus, Jake Notley, Lockie Pearce. They've got plenty of guys who can get across the line. So I dare say that they'd back themselves that the attack will come in this second half. And probably the key for them is defence. If they let in another 4 tries, it's going to be really, really hard to go and get 9 tries and win this game. So I think as much as they haven't scored in the first half, I think they'll back themselves that that'll come and it'll be a real defence focus for them.
Yeah, you can see the UQ Rebels box over there. They're missing their head coaches, Jason Boyd, Phil Guymore out tonight, but we'll just bring a handy replacement, Hall of Fame coach Peter Bell, to do the job. And you also got Liam Bauer, who played in the Division 1 game a little bit earlier. He's coming back from injury, so he's over there in the box tonight as well. Our match coming up after the Men's Premier, the Country Club Colts taking on the UQ Rebels. Whenever you see those 2 teams come up against each other in the Women's Premier, though, it's been a slow start for the Colts this year, but they've got such history and such a traditional rival playing in many grand finals in the Women's Premier Division. It'll be a good game coming up very shortly.
Yeah, really big game for the Colts there as well. If you have a look at 2nd, 3rd, 4th on the Women's Premier ladder, it's pretty much just for and against that's splitting them for the most part. So, you know, if one of the teams can take a game or 2 away from Rebels, it's really going to probably put them in a spot that they should be there or thereabouts when finals roll around. So, yeah, big game for the Colts girls tonight. Looking forward to that one.
Best way to stay up to date with all the Metro Cup competition information is on the BMTA Facebook, Instagram, TikTok accounts. And you can find these by searching Brisbane Metro Touch. The weather activity seems to be holding off at the moment. We're just getting a couple of little warning shots out there in the background. A little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning, but dry conditions so far.
Yeah, it's typical of the spot up here. I don't know what it is about Whites Hill Reserve. So many times you see the storms come rolling across from the west. You're certain it's going to line you up and hit you. The last minute it splits and goes around. It looks like the worst of it is hopefully going to do that tonight.
We'll put you to that weatherman, Zach. We'll see if you've got a career as a weather boy later on. So hopefully looking to good here for the last 20 minutes of this game. Southern Storm, can they strike early? Straight from the restart, out in front. Price did a good job to hold on to the footy. There's a good defensive read. Notley could see that one coming. There to make the touch. As the Storm dance around home. He was contained for the majority of the first half. Sends a floating ball out the front. The Rebels do the job in their first defensive set.
Yeah, good job there from Rebels. As we said, I'm sure it'll be a defence focus for them in the second half. They'll back themselves to score tries, but if they let Storm score 4 or 5, then that's a lot of tries they're going to have to score. So crucial that they're strong on their line and a really good set to start that off. So we see Jake Notley, huge metres.
Hedgedus back on the inside to Pearce. Full of running. This is a great set, and they've still got one touch to come, and they're already down in the business end of the field. Hedgedus dances around. Ross makes the touch this time. Oh, looping ball didn't come out of the hands cleanly for poor old Lockie Pearce there. The best one he's thrown throughout his career.
Yeah, positive start for Rebels though. Really good defensive set, and then they went the length of the field in 4 touches there. And now we see Southern Storm come up with an error towards their box. Rebels, they got numbers out to the left if they want to try and go here.
Yeah, they'll make changes because that starting 6 there stayed on for 3 sets in a row. So they'll get some fresh players out on the field. They'll hold the footy up as Mills can't get away from Ward.
Yeah, I'll be happy to throw away a touch or 2 there to get their fresh players on. Here they go now. Wrap around the back.
Yeah, the Bells working together.
I think 6 to go is going to be the call. I think just a little Southern Storm hand there on that long ball out to the wing. We saw them score a couple of times off repeat sets in the first half, Scotty. So another full set of 6 here for the boys.
Mills puts it out in front for Kaylin Bell. Ball in one hand, dancing around. Mills sends it back infield. Jordan Bell plays it. Mills now to Kelso. Good defence so far from the Storm, forcing the Rebels to come back out and reset. Mills' footwork just getting the ball away from Callum Bell, flicks it out the back. And a low percentage play there from the Rebels. Storm hold on.
Yeah, good job by the Storm there. Couple of really good defensive stops to start this match. So we see referee John Hamster just a little ball down bobble in the ruck. It's one of the highlights of their first half was how well they were able to get to the box, Southern Storm, but 2 sets, 2 errors so far. And they're going to have to absorb plenty more pressure here with plenty of touches in hand for the Rebels as they approach the line.
As Kalen takes it right to the line and feeds it to Flynn Kelso, and it will be the Rebels that score first. A few questions from the Southern Storm about the pass, but it was great work in the lead up. And the Storm, they were just caught flat-footed there on their line.
Yeah, just held it up really well here. Just let it develop, And the gap opened up in the link hole, just looped it over the top. And a really good finish there from UQ Rebels. Always hard to judge those passes, those loopy ones. Plenty of times they come out of the cans backwards, float forward. But in the end, just a really good attacking play there from the Rebels and an important first try for them in the second half.
Price takes him on. Searle just gets there in the nick of time to make the touch on the line. Beaton dances a couple of steps outside the 7. Price had Priddle done. Deacon back on the inside. Beaton holds it. Oh, the touch is made. They must have just got across to make the touch. It was pretty footy there from the Storm. Now Beaton, all arms and legs coming in to make the touch. And Pearce just quick taps and gets things going again for the Rebels.
Yeah, there's been almost no stoppages in this entire match. The teams, whenever they get the penalty, defender set of 6, they're just straight onto the ball. No different in the second half here. Jimmy Hedger just comes out of the box. Good drive.
Notley gets a clean play. The ball plays it out the back. Oh, punched. The double punch out there from Kelso.
He's nearly punched that one into the car park as Flint. Right idea. Just couldn't quite execute. Really fast game though, Scotty. Great to watch. This is how we love to see touch football played, just end to end. Mine, very, very minimal stoppages. And it'll be really interesting to see which team has the fitness in the second half of this second half to try and run away with it.
Oh, Richards does a good job as Kelso and Eddie almost got themselves tangled together. Devere just getting the ball down on the deck. Home takes it right to the line as Ross tries to punch through a short hole. Again, the end-to-end footy continues. Make it to Notley. Notley out to Streeter.
Yeah, huge meters early in the set here for Rebels. See a strong touch into the box and it will be called. Saw that called in the first half as well. Just that really hard touch from the side, pushing the player into the sub box. Relatively straightforward call for referees these days. And now plenty of touches in hand as Rebels roll down towards the attacking end of the field.
Mills jinking, dancing around, still looking for options. As they take her out to the right back on the inside and had some work to do. Making the touch, Richards throwing his body on the line again tonight for the Storm.
Yeah, great job from Richards there to stay with that ball as it went wide. Crucial touch there to save a try. Rebels here, happy to throw it around on last and have a crack. You see players shooting up, but a good bit of footwork from Ben Ross. Wins the Storm a few extra meters, and now they work into their usual structure on the subset.
Oh, again, another mistake. They got over the halfway line this time, but still turning over possession. Coach Chris Loth probably won't be too happy with the errors here in the second 20 minutes.
Yeah, we've spoken plenty about how many strong attacking weapons the Rebels have. The Storm have to be really careful here. You can't afford to just keep giving them sets on your line because they've got enough quality that they're going to come up with tries. But now we see Rebels with a mistake of their own. 7 on will be the call.
Yeah, we saw them come up with 7 on in the first half as well. So they're just not getting their interchanges right tonight, the Rebels.
Yeah, I think a similar one there where I think they just got it wrong. I'm not sure that was just a timing thing. Just missed the count. Someone's run on without their player coming off. And Storm, you feel they needed that. Pressure was really starting to build, having to do a lot of defence, and they now get a crack at the line.
Price takes it right to the line. Roberts just had a little bit of a juggle. Couldn't hold on to the footy. So the Rebels now put it through the hands. Priddle played on their 10-metre line. Searle has been good tonight, just doing plenty of hard work. for the Rebels.
Great roll on here, Jimmy Hedgedus. Great drive for Flynn Kelso, he picks up.
Oh, just dipping away on Sharp.
Yeah, I think just put it too far out in front of him. Pass slipped out of the hands forward. Should explain why. Too much work for James Sharp to do. Storm now coming towards their box through Jackson Roberts.
Pride shows it. Gets the ball down. A no-touch claim from Notley, but Pride making the touch on Jake. Comes up and makes another touch, forces the mistake yet again.
Yeah, another error. It's sometimes a little bit harder to pick up on your TV screens at home, but the ball just rolling a good half a metre to a metre forward in that ruck. So you'll regularly see referees judge that the player doesn't have control of the roll ball if it's going to roll that far forwards. So ball down, the usual call there. And again, another error from Southern Storm coming to their box. And great attacking position here for the UQ Rebels.
Hegedus, Walker, they got him on the short side. Hegedus diving in at the line. Good recovery. Might have had an opportunity just to take an extra couple of steps there, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think he was almost too fast for his own good. It looks like he was starting to lose his footing, and we felt like he just had to release it because he might be about to hit the deck.
Oh, he continues. The Southern Storm, they cannot buy a set of 6 at the moment.
Yeah, what a turnaround it's been. They had probably one mistake in the entirety of the first half, and in the second, they've barely been able to complete one. You can see Chris Loth very animated in the box down here with his Southern Storm boys. I'm sure that's what he'll be addressing.
Walker sweeping, looking for offside players, all good. From the Storm, Pride and DeVere, experience defending in the middle here for the Southern Storm. Walker just outside the 7, Pierce shows it to him, goes the opposite way, throws a beautiful ball out. Great cover defence coming across. Make the touch there from the Storm.
Yeah, it was Heath Crawford there, the defensive winger for the Storm. Probably one of the best up-and-coming wingers. Still a young lad, but committed to the wing position, and he just seems to grow in leaps and spades every year. He just gets so much better. So great read there, and a crucial one for the Storm as well as they cling to this one-try lead.
Beaton trying to pick up any metres that he can, and home finishes it off. Well, they finished their set of 6, which is a little tick. And they didn't punch too far downfield. They had to go away from their box on the first couple of touches. Just left themselves exposed a little bit, but a completed set nonetheless for the Storm. They're looking to feed off that now defensively. Good field position again here for the Rebels. Kelso has a look up. Priddle plays it. And Kalen Bell from half goes short ball to Searle. Just came off the chest. Little chance there for the Rebels, and gee whiz, that would have locked up the scores.
Yeah, he was through there, Searle. You can see he's clapped his hands filthy with himself there. He couldn't hold on to that one. Big chance there for the Rebels. See the Storm, nice little extra pass out to Robbie Williams on the wing. Really good meters as they come to the box. This is the Southern Storm of the first half.
DeVere comes in nicely as well. Richards, they're right on the back foot here, the Rebels. Ross has a look up. Nice slide defence though, just calms things down here for the Rebels. But they're in the right position on the field. Ross outside the 7. Richards looping over the top. Bailey, work to do, flicks it back inside. It was Williams to DeVere. Richards holds it up nicely, and Ross, they come across and make the touch. Good footy from both teams there. And we have a look up, and the Storm are going to maintain possession.
Yeah, I think there may have been a 6 to go call. I think it was one of those little slight middle passes. I think may just have caught a hand there of one of the Rebels players. So touches in hand here for Storm. Price round on the sweeper. Dives over. Good defence from the Rebels. See James Price not happy with that call.
He must have been pretty close. He had a quick look up there at Freshie just to see what the call was going to be. As Ross shows it, goes short and takes it right through to the line. And this time it's Price who slams the ground. I'm not too sure whether Sharp got across there in time to make that touch. Might have been a little half chance going begging for the Storm.
Yeah, we've seen both teams at each side of the field creating plenty of chances, but just, I think it's been really good defence, Scotty. They're just scrambling really well and just putting pressure on every pass and every play. And just seeing the attack off of both teams, just coming up with a few uncharacteristic errors. It's a great roll on here for the Rebels. Jimmy Hedgedus picks up, goes long, but can't get it to hands. it's still being played at a frantic pace, Scotty. I'm really interested to see if both teams are able to maintain this right to the final bell.
Yeah, you just feel like someone's going to crack. Something's got to give at some stage here in this game. Who can maintain their composure? The Storm up by 1. They've led for the whole of this match. And again, now we see the Storm coming out of their end of the field. And again, there's lots of finger pointing and protests. And John Hampshire's not going to change his decision on field. Notley, you got to watch him here in this position. View makes the touch.
You've got to be careful there, Stormy, right? They're not going to change the decision and nearly left themselves open there. Rebels ball in hand. Jimmy Hedges finds Lockie Pearce.
Good footy from the Rebels, and Pearce just stepping on a dime. Was able to get the footy out to the left-hand side of the field. This is going to look beautiful in the replay here from the Rebels.
Yeah, this is a class of Lockie Pearce. He's so light on his feet. He almost wasn't even looking at the winger of the Storm, but must have just felt him coming up there. Steps inside, releases the extra pass out to Streeter. There we go. How good does that look?
It was almost just a flick of the wrist as well, because his body position wasn't in the right sort of frame there to be able to then use the lead leg to push that ball out. Just rips it from the hands out, and it levels up the scores as well. 4 tries apiece. Now in this round 6 men's premier fixture, Price has had plenty of touches here in the second half and throughout the game. Working with Deacon. Beaton as well from half. Beaton sends it low and flat to Price. Mills comes up and makes the touch. Final touch now. Beaton tries to get in between 2 defenders.
I just looked a touch disorganised there. That set Southern Storm. Maybe weren't quite sure exactly what they were setting up for. Either way, Rebels now straight into their work as they come to the box.
Walker sends it to a deep Priddle. Searle comes down the left-hand side. Looping ball. Walker had a couple of clutches at that.
Yeah, just off the fingertips there. Again, plenty of space in front of him if he was able to hold on. So we roll towards the end of this game. That might end up being a crucial moment there. Southern Storm now.
Well, Richards did a good job to actually play the ball cleanly as Ward has space to work with. Last touch for the Storm. Home tries to skip in between. Priddle makes the touch.
Yeah, enterprising play there from Ward coming away for the box, and you just saw him look on the inside, but just didn't have support to take advantage of it. And now we're going to see probably a little bit symptomatic of the frustration of this second half from Southern Storm. They come up with a throwing the ball away, delay of game penalty. And again, as they've done a number of times in this half, they just gift Rebels a little bit of field position. And it's that man, Lockie Pearce, back onto the field.
Eddie and Hegedus as well, as Jimmy plays it on the 7. Pearce picks it up, gets into the in-goal area. Oh, it takes a little deflection off the Storm as the rain starts to tumble here at Whites Hill.
Yeah, crucial deflection there. I think it was Nick Home, knew he was beat, just put himself in the passing lane so that Lockie Pearce couldn't release that ball to support. 6 more again here for the Rebels. Key players are on the field. This is a big set here.
Hegedus sweeps, gets it, shows it right foot. Ward casually makes the touch.
Yeah, geez, he looks dangerous in those sort of situations, Jimmy Hedges.
Bell and Eddie. A little bit of confusion of who was supposed to go to half there, and this is the last touch for the Rebels. Callan comes off the right foot, and Pearce. The touch has been made from Home.
Lockie nearly did it again there, Lockie Pearce.
Just for a quick second now as the Storm just getting the ball through. Richards to Williams on the left-hand side of the field. Home shows it. Good work from Hegedus. And Nick didn't take that extra couple of steps to take the ball back to where he got touched.
You're right. Stopped himself. Just probably had to take a step or 2 back towards the mark there. And referee's right onto that one. And again, it's story of the second half. Southern Storm just not able to get to their box in complete sets. See a little bobble in the ruck. Was a foot in there from Southern Storm on the touch. He's got a huge set here. Scores locked.
Yeah, clock starting to wind down as well. Just over 2.5 to go.
Yeah, this is where the big players stand up. Jackson Mills calling the shots in the middle here. Yeah, going to get a penalty. Pulling out of the touch or not moving forward from Southern Storm.
They can't be complacent here in defence, the Storm.
Oh, Lockie Pearce.
Over the top.
He's come up with some big plays there, but just didn't quite get that pass right. And Southern Storm, 2 minutes left to go on the clock here. Crucial that they complete sets.
It was nice work from Nathan Beaton, just getting away from the defender, picked up extra metres and has got the Storm right on the front foot. They're all compressed out here on the left-hand side. They got 5 players, all within 15 metres of each other, and didn't really have any options to go back out to the open side.
Yeah, importantly though, at least they get the ball down the other end. They've got to come up with a good defensive set here, not allow Rebels to have a crack at the line. We see great speed from the Rebels as they've done all second half here. Really good momentum coming out of the box as they come towards fifth touch.
Priddle, we're going to clean play the ball down. Searle sends early ball and just off the fingertips. Out of the chest as well. Streeter, slippery ball, as we said. Just a little bit of light rain starting to fall here at Whites Hill. Just over a minute left to go on this one.
Yeah, this is where we look at those players we spoke about in the key player matchup, the leaders, the ones with experience. Adam Pride, you see him out there in the middle. He's been involved in plenty of big games. So we see a little check pass. They're going to play it on. Pass is called flat. Big call there, Southern Storm. They got to make the most of it now. They need to get down the other end of the field.
Last touch though for them now is Wood. Can't skip away. So under 60 seconds, about 50 to go on the clock.
Yeah, probably the last attacking chance here for the Rebels. Got to put the foot down. Got to get some momentum into the box here.
Pearce. Straight and hard through the middle. Kelso, Eddie onto the field. Hegedus as well. We've seen Jimmy be clutch in these positions in the game. Can he do it again? Looping ball over the top, off the right foot, and the touch has been made. Bailey, strong out here, defending on the left-hand side of the field. Huge touch for the Southern Storm.
Yeah, massive touch. And this is the last chance here for Storm. They won't have ball in hand again. Very little time left on the clock. See what they can come up with here.
Richards picks up and goes from half. The players are onside in the middle. Kelso and Eddie. And the clock's probably going to get away. Last play here potentially for the Rebels. Hooter sounds and referee Freshwater will say that will be all tonight, fellas. And the scores locked up at 4 tries apiece. Both teams can't be separated at the final whistle. And what a game here, round 6 between the Southern Storm and the Rebels.
Yeah, what a game, Scotty. We made mention at the start of the broadcast. Last time they played 3-3. We thought dry track tonight. We're going to come here. We're going to see plenty of tries. And there were plenty in the first half. And in the second half, just a defence-dominating game. And a 4-4 draw. What a cracker matchup between these two teams, and there's a very good chance we may see these two again in a final situation. So we will certainly be looking forward to their next matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Country Club Colts and UQ Rebels coming up next in the Women's Premier. We're going to take a quick break here from the Metro Cup and be back with more action live on KO Sports and Sky Sports Next in New Zealand.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Welcome back to the Metro Cup Women's Premier action, about to hit your screens. We take a look at the live ladder here. Rebels sitting on top, and they'll be taking on the Country Club Colts. They're in 4th position at the moment. They got their first win on the board in their last round fixtures. We take a look at the Country Club Colts lineup for tonight. Plenty of experience and young guns in this lineup. Their coach, Sebi Ray. And Colts, we made mention in the previous game, when they take on the Rebels, they've got such a rich history, these two teams, particularly in big matches and finals. The UQ Rebels, led by their captain, Sammy Jo Curtis, coaches Renee Murphy and Alicia Thuard. Lee Bauer has joined me in commentary for this one. Comes straight across from the UQ Rebels men's box. A little bit frustrated with the way that last game went, Bowers, but we'll look to see how the women go here in our second fixture of the night.
Yeah, thanks very much, Scotty. Yeah, a little bit frustrating, but it's a round game, so we'll just have to build for that for the finals. But looking forward to seeing the girls rip in here.
And they've started the season, like we saw on the ladder, in pretty strong condition. 4 wins, 0 losses. And these two teams have played each other in round 2. The Rebels getting the victory 7-4. The Colts, well, they got their first victory in their last match 6-2 against Brothers. They've been thereabouts so far in this season. And hopefully they'll be looking now as we see Sargent just look like she might have got the ball down before the touch was made. A little bit of a bobble with the footy as well. Not the start they would have been looking for here, the Colts.
Yeah, Kathy won't exactly be happy with herself with that one. Oh, but it doesn't particularly matter now because Rebels have just turned it over.
Let's just start the game again.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where the game starts. Almost pretty much in the exact position. Both teams getting their early jitters out of the way. Sargent, as Trenery sweeps around, gets into the 7-metre attacking area. Will pop back out to play the ball. Rolf plays good contact, just stop the momentum there for the Colts. They'll have to reset. They look to attack down the short side. And Mai comes up and makes the touch on the 6. Our 3 referees for tonight. And Campbell Muir, John Hamster and Anthony Smith. Hamster and Campbell Muir back-to-back duties. We saw them in the previous match. Rain still starting to fall, looking like it's a little bit heavier. They might have gotten away with the storm activity. Hasn't been any lightning or thunder nearby recently, but the umbrellas are starting to pop up here at Whites Hill. As we see now Hagan throwing it across, but Trenery did a good job to get their hands on the ball and regain possession here for the Colts.
Yeah, good, great hands by Courtney. Starting to rain a little bit now. Let's see how the girls deal with this, and obviously the coaching staff will start making sure really completions are the way to go about this, really getting the hand out. As I say, the mocker on them.
Yeah, little ball down in the play the ball. Smack bang on the halfway line here for the Rebels. Hagan, new recruit for the Rebels this season. Coming across from the Southern Storm. Tiani Bryce, flat-footed. To try and glide across field. Doesn't pick up too many metres. Lucia, ball in one hand. Out in front now for Tiani. Nice touch there from Adams. 5th and final for the Rebels. As Mai puts it across, a little bit of a juggle from Fildes. They're going backwards here, the Rebels. Good defence from the Colts as Mala comes up to make the touch. I'm happy with the way they finished that set off defensively, the Country Club.
Yeah, the Rebels girls just really kind of need a little bit more of a dominant call at the back end of that. With the rain starting to come down, I'd be ever present to use your footwork a lot more. As I say, there's another penalty. Ever present to use your footwork and line running at the moment. Passing is probably not going to be the play tonight. I like to see a few just picking up from half and really trying to get through to the in goal, or a couple of change of direction. So let's see if the girls can get a little. There we go. Completion rate's definitely going to be the right thing to do here, Scotty. Just taking an extra step back off the ball, making sure you get your hand out, get the ball down, make sure you complete your sets.
So let's see how the Rebels go now with ball in hand. Still happy to throw the footy around.
Yeah, the women's game's definitely brought in that double pop from touch 3 that the men's game has started. Oh, Jesus, I'm killing it tonight.
You're off to a strong start tonight,
Dowse. I'm just going to let you go, Scotty.
All right, let me talk you through this set here for the Colts. As Trenery comes back in field. Rolf, again, still happy to throw the footy through the hands. As Country Club now make it out their way to the left-hand side, which gives them an opportunity to get some plays on the field. Tunks shows and goes herself. She'll take a breather now. It's Larkin outside the 7. Sargent has a look up, goes short to Izell. Not a bad option. I don't mind that coming into the 5th. The short ball option just keeps the defence there from the Rebels on their toes. They don't come up with points, but that's a pretty good recovery and good set there from the Colts.
Yeah, a bit of a higher percentage play, like pumping and hitting short, trying to make sure the defences are staying in. As I said, probably a bit harder to throw that double cut in the wet tonight. Especially, A, you have to throw it, get it there, and then B, the winger has to have the great hands to catch it. So a few extra variables having to go onto that one, but Mar Thomas with a nice, champagne touch football.
Oh, we're talking about it. It was good classic footy down the other end of the field. Nice sort of short ball, but just a switch of play straight back in. She's still a classic, the old little switch. When it comes off crisp, usually comes up with points, and that's exactly what happened. Good work here from Thomas.
Yeah, Mar just playing with them here. Nice little switch back there from Kate Hammond, straight through. Not tight enough in there. Defence will have to be really tight here in this wet weather. Really force the opposition to throw over the top of you. See what Country Club can come up with Tash Adams.
Yeah, difficult conditions. There hasn't been too much wet weather around here in Brisbane for quite some time, so the players have been gifted with playing a lot of dry weather footy over the last few months. And it's only just off the back of a little bit of storm activity here in southeast Queensland tonight that we see a little bit of rain about. As the Colts, and chance their hand just getting across to make the touch. They've got one final play to work with here, the Colts. They're stacked up nice and deep. As Adams, with the footwork, gets Thomas done. Little short ball juggle over the top and almost coming across out the back. And pick up the footy, Sarah Kelleher. It's nice work, Adams. Elusive off the feet.
Yeah, Tash has got great footwork and a great left-to-right pass. She's used that for a while now. The girls just need to be a little bit aware of that next time, or she'll make them pay.
Andreasen offloads to Sammy Joe. Might be the first time we've seen Hinny on our screens this season. A dangerous player for the Rebels. Adams takes the first hit up. You said she's got great footwork, great ball work, but just tucks the ball under the wing and gets them going forward. Often on the first couple of touches, just Tash Adams. Izell flows out nicely out the back. They're compressed on the left-hand side. They continue to come this way, and Sargent can't get a clean ball out of the hands.
Yeah, Rebels girls really being compressed in their defence there. It's obviously something that's come in from their box. They were very tight. They're very evident to get up there.
Here is Henny out to the left-hand side. They just have to take an extra couple of steps to go back to the mark. They have forced the mistake. And straight onto the football as the Rebels are making changes. Izell goes back down that right-hand side of the field.
Let's see what Catherine Sargent can deal up here. Little out ball. Punish play.
It's good contact on Trenery. Comes off the left foot and almost slices in between the two defenders there. Mara Thomas and Rani Hagan put under pressure defending their line. Rolfe getting directed from Izell, who shows it, slicing through. And Mara Thomas, good sportsmanship. That's the referee, no John Hamstrut. She did get hands onto the footy, so a repeat set here for the Colts as Larkin and Adams make their way onto the field.
Yeah, honesty a really big part of our sport here, Scotty, so we're really quite big with them on that. See what the girls can come up here, try and play live, hopefully. We'll try and get in the end goal. Here we go, little punish play. See if they can catch them offside. Tash Adams. Ooh, very close. It's the right play. Being nice and live on the line, making the defence try and get you. As a defender there, you really just kind of just need to pull short side and make everyone come back against you. Like the pass, just caught offside there, Ronnie.
So Colts with Courtney Trenery go across for their first try of the game. We'll take a look at the replay.
Yeah, really good dump here, right on the 7, making sure she gets on side. Rani just missing maybe a footstep on the line there. It's very hard to get back the 7, so that's a couple of times they've run that punish, Scotty. I imagine that's going to be something that's going to be from Seb Ray. They're going to keep running that for the rest of the night for a little bit.
It was positive footy as well after getting repeat sets. They just continued to put the pressure on and came up with points off the back end of it.
Yeah, just a nice little cheeky play to restart your set. Being live at the line, making the referee make a decision that is the player onside or offside, and really trying to get that dump on the 7. That's a really big part of that. Sweeper outside the 7.
Tiani shows and goes, takes it herself, no options. Out here on the right, so trying to switch it back on the inside to Lucia.
It's probably the right play there, though. Like the rain's starting to go, nice little change of direction play, keeping everybody not from swimming nice and tight. Almost got there. Like look to see they'll probably run that again. A little sweep ninja, probably a platform off the back of that.
So the changes come around the back, but Files does a good job to hold her nerve defensively. And even punch forward. Izel's doing a good job now. Takes it right to the defensive line through the hands. Oh, they had a 2-on-1. Out on the right-hand side of the field. Positive footy, though, from the Colts. There's probably an opportunity a couple of times for them just to get the ball on the deck, but they saw the space and put the ball through the hands.
Yeah, even though the wet weather's really not stopping them from it. It's just enough to be annoying. It's not like really raining, but it's just enough to like make you drop the ball a little bit. But Rebels girls really trying to ping it down here.
It was a really good game of footy between these two teams. We're halfway through the first half, still 10 minutes to go.
Sammy Joe, short ball.
Shows a little show and go herself. Out onto the footy. The Colts straight back onto the ball.
Colts girls look like they're not going to the box and they're just staying here.
Do a good job to hold on to the footy. Just that little short break there gives them an opportunity to get a couple of changes onto the field. And Sankey plays the ball. Should take a breather as well. Just haven't quite got their players in position. They'll get themselves settled a little bit better now. Holding onto the football nicely. Adams, beautiful link ball, and just trying to thread it across. And they got themselves out of a little bit of trouble. Looked a little bit disjointed coming into like the 4th and 5th touch there, the Colts. But again, ball work. He's getting himself into good positions to be able to have a crack at the UQ line.
Yeah, and they're backing it up here with some ruck defence, and it's just paid off dividends for them. Really being ready that as soon as the ball was down, that they all got back in ruck defence and really got into their shooter set, and it's worked here. Let's see what they can come up with.
Sawtell is back in field. Kelleher flat-footed, so it goes back to Chloe. Another touch from half as she punches down the left-hand side of the field. Forced to come back to the 7-metre line. Sawtell will come for a breather. Larkin making her way onto the field. Penalty here to the Colts.
Yeah, very evident that they're trying to run that little punish play, really trying to get that dump on the 7. Every time they get it on, they're looking really dangerous. See if they go to it again. Rani doing a good job making a hard touch and getting out. Tony Wells stepping up in defence there really well at length there to cut off the outball.
Larkin plays it. It's good contact in the touch. Hagan again comes up and makes the touch this time. Both feet on the line.
She's doing really well trying to get that touch out 7. As soon as you can get it out 7, it makes you make sure you don't all have to make the line. And the referees are very on top of that at the moment.
So Adams looks to sweep around the back, gets it. They're pretty tight in the middle here defensively. The Rebels, last touch though. And they recovered nicely.
Good defence by the Rebels girls there. Let's see if they can really complete and get out of it. Country Club look like they're going to really set their shooters here.
There's Rasmussen on the first touch. Again, just a little bit jittery coming into the play. The ball gives an opportunity now for the Colts to come up out of their defensive line. Bryce picks up valuable metres as Marama gets him over the halfway line. 5th and final touch for them now. Bryce out the back. Folds and a couple of grabs at it. Turns the ball back over. The grind continues between the Rebels and the Colts, locked at 1 try apiece here in this round 6 fixture, Women's Premier Division at the Metro Cup.
Yeah, Scotty, the Country Club girls really won that with their ruck defence there. They're really keeping the link in the other middle back there and really shooting touches too, and working really hard there. As Lucia Files takes intercepts here, see if the Rebels girls with no shooters can really get down the field here and complete their set.
There's Lucia putting the ball through the hands. Murphy from half. She'll follow up the play. As Henny comes on, the flat-footed.
Really good work here from the Country Club girls. Even though they didn't make it, touches 3 and 4, they really got up and put pressure on the Rebels girls. And again, they're going to get the ball just over halfway again to complete their set. It's very, very good coaching. It's a really big thing that they've obviously been trying to do and doing it really well.
The Colts with Rolfe. They come out to the left-hand side of the field. Costello plays it. Trenery skipping away from Hagan. He recovers back with Curtis to make the touch. Good hands to hold on to the footy. Sankey plays it. Last touch. Not much doing that set there for the Colts.
No, they really needed to try and get someone, just put their hand up and say, oh, I'm going to take us forward at the back end of that. They had the ball pretty good positioning, and you just got to go forward there. Rebels girls might get an actual crack at the line here. Maybe not.
Going to take it away. Kimball Muir has picked up a penalty. Forward pass. Uncharacteristic error in the middle of the field there for the Rebels.
Here we go. Colts girls going forward. Meaning they're probably going to get a good fourth touch crack here on the 7. Ball down. Really evident. You really got to try and hold on to the ball here, Scotty. Even if you take an extra second and run at 70% or so, try and get the completion right. That's the biggest thing that matters here. There'll be a lot of drop ball if that doesn't happen.
And the rain appears to have stopped here as well. So there'll still be slippery conditions for the players to have to adjust to.
Lucia files out a half here straight through. Oh, can't complete there.
He might have had an opportunity just to continue to punch through on that occasion. Sankey there holding a space nicely, just had arms out, even though she couldn't really see where Lucia was. Just probably cut down a bit of her space and time. She was looking to exploit this from the acting half position.
It should be a really big thing to try and get the in goal here when it's wet. Just enough to stop the passing as the ball goes down here. See if the Rebels girls can complete off the line.
And we haven't seen too many times in the first half the Colts turn ball over in this position of the field. They've been pretty clinical coming out of their end.
Yeah, probably a big thing from coaches Sebre and Combat here. Just to try and complete your sets and then ruck D and then see what you can get onto the line and make punish play here coming.
Bryce off the right foot. Trinity holds her space.
Good
makes
D
the
there.
touch. Hinny from half.
Beck my. Probably a sweeper coming here for Hinny. See if she can hit the line here.
Looks to take off ball in one hand. Nice touch. It was about 3-4 metres out from the line. Had some work to do to try to get to the chalk as we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, ball was dumped just off the line there. Made sure the referee didn't have to really try and make the decision. The player didn't have to get back. Lucia falls out of half, but very dangerous. Sammy Joe.
Did a good job there, the Colts. They hold their nerve, like you said. How many times have we seen Lucia in that exact position? Fifth touch, nothing doing, just slice between defenders and get herself into the in-goal area, but they covered that one nicely, their country club.
Oh, good away set here, but really stopping the Rebels girls from shooting.
Good meters
and great
again.
meters from Tash Adams.
I was just about to say they've got to continue on from that great start. Another error, so back-to-back errors. At least got over the halfway line this time around, and it's still a pretty handy position for the Rebels to start their set. They take a couple of seconds as well. Probably both teams well-deserved. Little breather there, a little short stoppage in play, and we're back under control now. Under 3 minutes. Oh, yeah. Just had a little bit of a look up and probably caught in two minds there, knowing that there was interchange plays. Just had to hold the football up as those players made their way on. And take your eyes off the prize for a second, it can hurt you.
Yeah, someone really just needs to put Talia Rolfe doing it, put their hand up and just go forward with control and get down the other end of the field. That's the biggest thing here for the Colts girls. Great hands, just got to go forward.
And again, contact made on the arms or the football. Kimber Muir says the Colts maintain possession as they play the ball. Talia Rolfe, Tunks from half, picks up, has a little bit of a look up, goes short to Kelleher, can't go on the outside. Marma Thomas pretty comfortably makes the touch. As Mara rolls forward on the first.
Great drive there. See if the girls can get to 3 at halfway. Try and get a nice little latcher on here. Lucia files a bit of footwork.
Yeah, better transition this time around out of the box from the Rebels as Mai plays it. Tiani picks up out in front of Hinny. Kelleher makes a nice touch.
Yeah, great defence from the Country Club girls there. Holding their line and just being able to release. Great talk there. Their box is very animated at the moment. Talia Rolfe just meters tonight. She's going for those super coach points.
Trenery footwork does a good job to get the ball down on the deck as well. This is nice running coming into the line, Izell.
Back my mind.
Experience there.
Yeah.
And the Australian Women's Open representative and vice captain of this team. When they were on the ropes, it felt like they were on the ropes. Just a little sneaky pull out. Must have been in the field of play, not in that 7 metre zone.
Oh, and she's going forward again.
Now Fields. My takes another hit up. And a nice
great,
little ball.
great football back, my.
This is a good response here from the Rebels.
Rani at a half here, straight through.
Tries to get through.
I like that though.
Didn't quite have all their support players on either side of Rani there in position, so she had to put the ball under the wing and just try to squeeze her way through the Colts defence. They get themselves across to make the touch. Trenery pick up too many metres. Sammy Joe coming up out of the line. There's that footwork again from Adams. Izell across the face. Another touch for Trenery. A little forward pass here. 10 seconds to go. They might get one, possibly two touches here, the Rebels. Sammy Joe. Yeah, and off the fingertips. Unfortunate. The hooter sounds in the background. A little half chance there right before the break for the Rebels. And what a contest we've got on our hands in this game. Country Club and the Rebels locked up at 1 try apiece. We're going to take a breather as the players are heading over to their box as well. Be back with all the second half action here from round 6 Metro Cup. Country Club and the Rebels 1-1.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Welcome back to the Metro Cup, and a tight game on our hands here in the Women's Premier Division. The UQ Rebels, defending champions, have got a game, like we said, on their hands against the Country Club Colts, so you can see on screen. And Craig Morrow, one of the experienced leaders, gone the full suit and tie tonight. Might have just come from work, or he might be going, NBA coach levels, getting the The formal wear on tonight. Sebre, not so much. That's very much Sebi, isn't it?
Yeah,
Black shirt and jeans. Very cash.
Very much so, that's Sebi. That's Sebi suit and tie.
Yeah, he's got his wedding attire on from not too long ago. But they look pretty calm and comfortable. It was a great first 20 minutes there for the Colts, wasn't it? Really taking it to the defending champions. So like we said in the lead up to this game, these two teams know each other so well. They've come up against each other in the big games, and they just felt each other out for periods there in the first 20 minutes. Both had opportunities and moments throughout that the first half, and they'll just be looking. One team's, you feel like it's going to crack at some stage in the second half. Whoever can be there when the whips are cracking, you're going to get the victory at the end of the day.
Yeah, the Country Club girls doing a really good job of their ruck defence and then going forward off the back of it. Like I think they're running like that's really keeping them in this game at the moment. The Rebels girls probably just need to take a little bit of a leaf out of the Country Club girls' books and be a bit more aggressive in their ruck defence and getting off their line. Maybe a little away set because the Country Club girls are like all defending in the other half of the field. They're essentially leaving this whole side off. They got to do something probably to change it. It's just going to be who doesn't drop the ball enough and who can complete the most sets out of the back end of this, Scotty, I think.
And their styles are so contrasting as well, but it's their traditional styles that they're playing tonight as well. Colts, they're just heavy running game. They're very physical as well. And you can just see there's opportunities where a lot of times teams will go that natural set where they'll come and make changes in their interchange area. But if they see space in front of them, they'll just tuck it under the wing and they'll just go through the guts. And those 6 players will just stay on the field. Yeah,
it's becoming a little evident in our game nowadays that with especially at Metro Cup, I find here, teams are really good ruck defensively. So you got to mix it up a little bit. Otherwise, you're just going to get slammed getting to your box. You won't really get there. Sweeper coming here for Lucia Files.
Here is Lush. Ball in 2 hands. Sends it back on the inside. He loops it over the top. Just dips away from Murphy on the right-hand side.
Looks like a yes-no here, probably.
Yeah, it is. John Hamstra. And again, good sportsmanship. I think Larkin might have even indicated that to the referees. Obviously, the UQ Rebels players would have heard the call. But Larkin says, yep, that's exactly what happens. Repeat set. My tacks him on down the short side.
Good touch there by Larkin. Courtney Trinnery a little bit offside there, but she was there to cover up. Perfect middle defence there. See what Lucia can call. Sweeper for Hinney probably coming here. Got to make the line. Oh, 6 to go.
Did a little deflection, but probably just had a little bit too much sauce on that ball. It almost looked like it was intended for the wing, and punching through on the link hole was definitely the option, but they still hold on to possession here. The Rebels, and a full set. And as I say that, ball out in front of Files. Hits the deck, so the Colts, they hold on. There was plenty of pressure there from the opening whistle here in the second half from the Rebels, asking plenty of questions.
Yeah, Coach Renee Murphy's clearly come out with a second half plan of start running sweepers and run a bit more live at the Country Club girls, with Lucia Files getting a crack there. Let's see if that's a continued plan. They got to work. Girls really got to work to get up here and take time off them.
And that's probably the disadvantage there. If they went nice and direct on the first 3 touches, but then made some changes off the back end of it, and having to hold the footy up as those changes come on, just left themselves a little bit exposed. Rebels start their set in pretty good field position as my punches forward. Now we see the Rebels go direct on the first 2 touches. Andresen now angling them over towards their interchange area. Yeah, set here from the Rebels.
The girls look like they're going there to try and take the touch on that second sweeper and really be able to ping it back on that 4th touch. Ronnie Hagen with a bit of wheels out of half here.
Link ball. Space. They come back on the inside. Good recovery as Adams makes the touch on Mara Thomas. Again, good footy from both teams. It's like a heavyweight battle between these 2 footy teams tonight.
Yeah, both teams come out firing here in the second half. A little bit more. It looks like it might have dried up a little bit. They're really starting to complete the footy a little bit better here. Going forward here, let's see what they can come in off the back of it. Got to get through from half.
Trying to punch through was Sawtell. Hands the ball back to the Rebels. Armour Thomas on the first touch off the right foot. Larkin comes across to make the touch.
Great eyes up footy there.
Yeah, Hagen now skipping across the field. It's a nice clean play, the ball down. Murphy just has to hold it up for a second. Again, no one really there into position. My eventually gets there to flow out the back.
Tiani Bryce probably looking to come out of half here.
Momo just stuttering into the defensive line. Gets the ball
Feeder.
down now. Bryce takes off, takes it right to the line. And they get the ball down before the cover defence of Chloe Tunks can get across. Good set there from the Rebels. And Tiani Bryce taking it right to the very end. They get the ball away, and the Rebels, they score first here in the second half.
Yeah, dummying the Beck Momo quickie and just link caught in a little bit too tight out.
Oof. Chloe Tunks, she's pretty close to get that touch. Both referees on the spot, and they do indeed point to the spot.
Play on call from Campbell Muir and probably suggest she's maybe not onside there. That's my thoughts. See what the Country Club girls can come up with here. Catherine Sargent going forward.
Rolf switches in. Kelleher. And Sarah again going across as Tiani Bryce makes the touch.
Pretty comfortable touch there from Tiani. Read that one pretty well. Sweeper coming here for Kath Sargent.
Izell plays it short of the 7. Kelleher. Oh, beautiful ball through the middle. Oh, huge touch as well. My, who else? This was a pretty play as we take a look at the replay. It was a great ball. Kelleher almost looked like they were out of position. Then all of a sudden, Sargent almost getting through the middle. The two Australian Women's Open representatives fighting it out in the middle of the field. Faults. Curtis out the back and just dropping away. Murphy wasn't quite in position. Making her way over from the right-hand side of the field out here to the left. She comes up and makes the first touch.
Rebels girls really looking to put a bit of pressure on ruck defence. 3 before halfway is very good. They got to step up their last couple of touches here.
Adams
Great
again.
footwork from Tash there.
Yeah, Curtis does a good job to recover and make the touch.
Got to step up.
Here is Natasha. Throws it out the back and switching player on the inside.
Really came there from their Rebels girls ruck defence there on touches 1, 2 and 3 there, Scotty. That's why they got the ball back with a pretty good way to get out.
And sloppy play the ball. Just getting feet involved. Carla Sankey. The Rebels will come up to the mark. The tap. Lucia, as casual as you like. We'll tap and restart.
I don't think Lucia's ever held the ball in 2 hands. Oh, there we go.
You're on fire tonight.
I know, I'm killing it. I should start calling lottery numbers.
Sammy Joe switches in. There's the
Give her the
one-handed.
ball.
Loosh. Footwork. Back on the inside.
Phase play.
Oh, just didn't quite get that down cleanly enough. It's a tough one.
Bit hard done by there, I think.
Yeah, it was decent contact. Yeah, 50-50, because you can tell that she was trying to get the ball down quickly for phase, but might not have had the body position in place to be able to get the footy down.
Country Club girls rolling down here field. Good work there from Tash Adams on touches 1 and 3, really using the ball a bit.
Interchange infringement here from the Colts, and 7 on.
Looks like 7 on there. Just a little bit too keen for the middles. Both links usually go on first with both middles coming off, and you got to kind of watch as that last middle to kind of where the third dumper is made. But it looks like he kind of just ran on with the other pair middle.
Oh, and on the first there, Lucia just sending a ball straight back on the inside. And Sammy Jo Curtis, that's a rare error from her.
Completion rate, Scotty. Keep saying it. That's what we need to do.
Good opportunity here for the Colts. Can they level up the scores yet again? Rolf. No options on the right. Comes back to Trenery. Tunks hovering around the acting half position penalty. And given moving forward here off their try line, the UQ Rebels. More pressure coming their way defensively. It's Tunks. Holds onto the football. Replays it. Rolf. Early ball from half. Tunks attacks the line. Defense from Sammy Jo.
Yep, just being nice and tight there is Sammy Jo. In, up, out. There to back up in the middle, Pierre Murphy. Really leading the defence here. Ooh.
Early release.
I love that.
Yeah, out here to Kira Lee Costello. Had a little bit of room to work with. Not too much, but Gets a clean ball there. She might have danced her way down the right-hand sideline.
That's something James Courtney's been asking me to do for him forever, is just give him for early ball. So it looks like the Country Club girls are doing the exact same thing. I love it. Rebels girls starting to complete. See if they can roll at the back end of this. Oh, a bit of footy with a fly play coming at the back of it. Ronnie Hagan.
Oh, clear space. Puts the
See
foot
ya.
down as well. Goodbye. Too quick. Too good. Gee, good footy coming out the back. And it was just a little fly play, like you said, little late pop there to Tiani Bryce. If there's two players that you don't want to have the footy in that exact position, it's Bryce into Hagan.
Yeah, just catching the girls caught out here a little bit. Ronnie Hagan just getting the ball outside, even the winger, and just clean set of heels here. Kind of turned off the Jets, a la Jake Notley. And pops the ball down. Rebels girls up 3-1.
Biggest margin of the game so far. 2 tries to the Rebels. The Colts haven't been able to trouble the scoreboard here in the second half. 2 tries unanswered to the Rebels.
Catherine Sargent controlling here. Open side quickie. Hitting the winger.
Costello
Good defence there.
does a good job to hold on to the footy. Comes back, plays it on the 7.
Good defence, good work from the Country Club girls here, killing the ball all the way over here, and so they can use their shoot defence to try and stop the Rebels girls from getting over to halfway. See if it works here. Rebels girls might have to play some footy.
Bryce, early ball. Hagan decides to hold it. Throws the dummy.
Yeah, 4th touch before even halfway. That just comes from a bit of footy smarts there. Scotty using the ball on the other side of the field and making the other team work all the way across the other side. And they get the ball back with pretty good field position here. See if they can make use of it now.
Yeah, they're up and about in their interchange area there. The Colts, I knew that was a big defensive set for them.
Yeah.
Now they'll be able to get those changes on behind the ball. They need to continue to flow on here as Sankey plays it. Adams onto the field. Trenery making her way into the left link position. Talia Rolfe as well in the right link. Adams looking to pop out Trenery. She was coming into the acting half position. Little miscommunication there from the Colts. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's probably the right play there, though. Like, the link's just coming in. Bit of eyes up, and you can probably bounce out that. Rebels girls going away from their box here.
Rasmussen taking meters.
They'll probably all just stay here.
Tony is looking to switch in. Holds on to the football. Last touch, nothing doing. So it's an unfortunate end to the set there from the Rebels. Didn't start off too badly. Fell away from them towards the back end. Trenery now just looks at a little bit of space.
Country Club girls staying, looks like it, for the first couple of touches. If they keep going forward here, they will get at least probably one crack on the line here. Tash Adams, little punish play.
Rolfe, early ball out in front. Adams, right foot.
Whack.
Thank you very much. We talked about our footwork in the first half. I'm not even going to talk through this one. Just sit back and enjoy.
Trophy husband Ken Adams will be loving this. Tash Adams out ball. Just stops on a dime. Walks over. Really led the girls getting up the park here, so she deserves this one. Just being open and alive. Out ball. TRY try.
Needed that there, the Colts. Gets themselves back into the game. Big defensive set needed here for them. They don't want to leak after scoring points. Faults, and they've come up with it. It was a flat ball back on the inside. Anthony Smith blows the penalty for a forward pass.
Country Club girls have pulled back a bit of momentum here. They've scored a try and just got to stop.
Going nice and direct again. First 3 touches. Larkin gets him over the halfway line. But again, they're making changes on the back end of it. In 4th, switch out the back, and now they're trying to recover and get themselves going forward again. And they give it away. So that's twice in the second half that we've seen a really positive start for them. What do you think, Bouch? Do you think they just need to grit it out there and just maintain those 6 players on the field and get themselves down the end? Because on 4th touch, they're making changes. They've got no one at home. Yeah,
so that type of stuff changes the momentum of the game, Scotty. You're right. Like, really do just need to, if you're going to stay, you stay, and then you get down the other field and maybe even try and get a penalty or a 6 to go or something like that, and then you can get a sub. It's really hard to kind of get down there and then only leave 2 people on the field to kind of do something, and then the Rebels girls are just pouncing on them as they look to go forward here. Beck Mai taking them forward, see if Tiani Bice can get another crack.
A little bit flat again here from the Rebels.
Short
ball from Files. They did a good job on the back end of the set, but yeah, I was just going to say a little bit flat on 3 and 4 in particular.
Great defence there.
Tiani tries to come up and put some pressure on.
Good work from the Country Club girls there, getting in front.
Yeah, did a good job, Caitlin Blade, to get her body in. Just slowed up things for the Colts. There's Malla coming forward. Might be a little bit frustrated this set. Trenery just getting the ball down cleanly. Rolf will play it.
Catherine Sargent out of half here.
Footwork,
good
short
footwork.
ball. Trenery sums it up nicely. Malla. Great scramble defence. It's taken a little deflection off the Rebels. Good footy from both teams. Gee whiz, this is half a whisker away here for the Colts.
Fantastic effort here from Tiani Bryce. Just effort areas. Now she has to back up in D. Punish play here. Oh, and another great touch there from Tiani Bryce.
As we return to live action, you can see Malla, if she gets that clean, she just had to turn her hips and go back to reach the ball. Clean ball there, she's going over, and we've got the scores locked up. They've still got the possession here as Rolf attacks. Looks like Hagen might be short of the line again. Yes, she is. Great experience. Talia Rolf and Courtney Trenery. And they do get the scores locked back up, 3 tries apiece.
Going to the well there, making the dump on the 7. 1 foot off the line by the looks of it there. Just off the 7 by the looks of that dump. Caught short there. The referee's just called play on now. Country Club level back up.
And this is just Colts footy to a T, isn't it? They just never give up in the game. Rebels came out of the second half break. All guns blazing, 2 tries. All of a sudden, the Colts return serve, 2 tries of their own. Hiranya tracks the line. I think Campbell Muir's going to point to the spot here. Yes, he is. So the game, is it about to open up? Pretty tight in the early stages. Now we've seen a couple of tries back-to-back from both teams.
The Country Club girls do a really good job here of not giving the sweeper for Tiani. And Henny just gets a little goose and gets the ball down. Really nice and low, really early. She's unbelievable at doing that stuff. Cameron Muir saying the ball's down first. Rebels hit back. 4 minutes to go, up 1. See what the Country Club girls can come up with.
Adams is across field. Still picking up metres as she goes. Sankey. It's a loose ball. All of a sudden, it's a bit of a theme for the Rebels in their games. Like we said, they come into this game 4-0. They're sitting on the top of the table. And if you just have a look at the ladder, you'd think, well, they're well in control of the competition so far. But all the other teams have really pushed them. And there's just been moments in the game where they've been able to take the stranglehold and then run away with it. Can they continue on now? Folds tries to get in between. Good defence.
Kind of what we were saying there before, though, Scotty. Like, the Rebels girls went to stay there, and then they all stayed, and they got all the way down and got a pretty good crack on the back end of it. Finished it all the way on their sub box as well, making the Country Club girls work all the way, and it's going to be 3 touches before the 10. Rebels girls really putting in some effort areas here to really stop the Country Club girls. Tash Adams, great footwork.
Sankey and Izell needs to clean play the ball. They do get it there, but they've still got players all over the shop here. Trenery does a good job. Sargent footwork. Oh, almost skips down the sideline. Great touch.
Great touch by Kat Hammond there. Bit of footwork there from Catherine Sargent.
Opportunity now as the Colts come up out of the line with Sargent. Back-to-back efforts.
Really good work here from the Country Club girls. That's 3 touches within like 10 metres.
Oh, Sammy
Bit
Joe
of pot 40.
Just getting it over the top. Folds does a good job to get them out of trouble, but they're still in 6s and 7s here, the Rebels. Last touch, halfway line. Hagen picks up from half. Folds loops it over the top. Catherine Sargent says, thank you very much. I'll take that.
Effort areas from the Country Club Colts girls. Getting the ball back, see if they stay.
2 minutes to go in this game.
Now they're all the way down the end of the line here, Scotty. Now they can sub. They'll get at least 1 good crack here, I'd imagine, on the line. Punish play potentially on Rani. Making a good touch there out far. Good work.
Yeah, good defence that time around from the Rebels.
She did really well there, making the touch 8-9 metres out, meaning she did not have to make the line on that one. Really well done there.
Here is Hagan.
Oh, just footwork.
A little show and go.
Really helps the girls because this is touch 3.
Oh, little ball loose out the back. Tondrasan's unfortunate there for the Rebels. Great set, and they needed that at this exact moment in the game. Minute 20 left on the clock. And they hold on to the footy. They get down the other end. If it doesn't come up with points, they put pressure on the Colts to do a hard set to get downfield as a loose ball out the back. Good hands from Harris. Last touch, though, for them there. I don't think they know the count. Izell, yeah, plays it. They lost their way. They couldn't capitalise. Under a minute to go on the clock. Huge set for both teams. My loses the ball. Rolf comes up and argues her case.
That is probably the game there, Scotty. If I'm the Rebels girls, I am just taking 4 you and me buddies down the field and just getting the ball down there. You've got 37 seconds left. Australian Women's Open players, Beck Maimai and Sammy Jo Curtis just...
Ooh, little juggle.
Doors open, Scotty.
Here we go. 20 seconds left. Sargent straight through the middle. They've got their full complement of players on the field and they're all in position. Rolf back in field. Sargent.
Probably not making that touch on the 7 as well.
Back on the inside to Catherine Sargent. He goes through the middle with 5 seconds left on the clock. The Country Club Colts have leveled up the scores.
Here we go. They even got the dump here. Dump made on the 7. Just maybe not a little bit of clock awareness there. Probably not making that touch and just good footwork there. Step back, short ball. Catching the other middle, not following across field there. Dumped on the 7. Evens it up there, Scotty.
Straight under the post, clutch. Right on the full-time siren. Well, you've been put in an absolute treat in the men's and women's tonight here at the Metro Cup. Both scores locked up at the full-time Hooter. Classic footy. We hope you enjoyed the coverage on KO Sports here in Australia. Sky Sports Next over in New Zealand. And there'll be plenty more footy coming up. Round 7 action, all live and free next week. Live here from Whites Hill in Brisbane. Until then, we'll say goodbye for now.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it. So it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.